Hello, my name is Fathima Samreen and I'm a volunteer at Vizag Volunteers, and I have worked for the helpline, and I have fundamentally gathered potential donors of plasma for people in need who were suffering from COVID in the second wave. And the second wave, working for the helpline during the second wave was very overwhelming because there were a lot of calls. We were almost attending 150 calls a day, and it was a lot of work. And it was really heartbreaking when people called us in distress at midnight, around 3 a.m., around 1 a.m. And I could still remember all the pain they had in their voices because one of the family members was suffering from COVID. But on the other hand, me and my sister both were working on the helpline, so we also felt really happy when we could help, when we could give them the contact number of a potential donor, and when they could get a unit of plasma for helping their family member. It was a very great experience, I would say, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about how the people are suffering, and it has made me really empathetic. I still remember that that happened. This second wave was at the peak time when we were fasting for Ramzan last year, so it was really hard for us. But also on the other hand, it was really satisfying when we could help at least some people. We helped lots of people when we were getting almost 150 calls, and we were also forwarding those contacts to our team members who are also on this plasma project. So they were trying to receive potential donors, and they were taking those plasma units and they were giving it to the people in need. So we were able to help them as well. So we helped a lot of people, and that is really satisfying. And I really hope that that situation, that crisis which we faced, would never come again. And even if it comes, I hope that I would really work hard. I still work in Vizag Volunteers to help as many people as I can. So during the second wave, I learned a lot about the crisis we were having. I learned a lot about how the COVID patients, what their requirement was, what we could provide them, and how the plasma donations are working. And I learned a lot in this particular subject. But I also learned what empathy is, how I should feel for other people who are suffering, and I actually could see the real world, how the people are suffering. I was living in a very comfortable zone, and because of Satish sir, I could come out of that comfort zone of mine and could see what the real world is. So thank you, Vizag Volunteers, for making me go through what I went through while I was working for the helpline, and I've learned a lot. When I was last year during the second wave, in the beginning I was getting calls for plasma. Then I started getting calls for beds, then oxygen concentrators, then ventilators. But one day I got a call, and not only one call. I got many calls from people asking for a place in a graveyard. That was how horrible the situation was, and it still brings tears in my eyes when those people were asking for graveyard places. So yeah, it was really hard for a lot of people, for a lot of families who were not even able to find a place in a graveyard. They were not even able to find a place to bury the people they loved. They were not able to find places for people to send them with the last rites. So yeah, it was really hard, and I'm very glad that I could work with Vizag Volunteers and help at least those people who are still, in the recovery phase, and we did the best we could.